I have more secret identities than I can count, and after my sister Sophie tracked me down and brought me home, all my sisters assumed I was just some sheltered kid who needed looking after. They figured after years of drifting on my own, I must have been completely broke. So my oldest sister Lily pulled out a black card and slid it toward me, saying, "Go ahead and swipe whatever you want. Buy everything you never got a chance to have." Growing up, every eye in the room locked onto me instantly. Everyone waiting to see me light up with gratitude and disbelief, but my gaze only paused on that unlimited black card. For about 1 second, then I replied in the most unbothered tone, "Thanks, Lily," just when she assumed I was going to take it. I turned around, picked up my faded old canvas bag, and pulled a card from my wallet, handing it over instead. "I'm good, I have my own." The entire Song family froze on the spot. Lily's smile locked up mid-expression. Her hand still held the black card up, awkwardly suspended in mid-air. She instinctively glanced down at the card I was holding out, and it was matte black all over, made of some unusual material with 0 bank logos on the front, just a mysterious emblem where light seemed to converge, and a series of embossed numeric codes in the corner. This card, Lily's pupils snapped shut. As the CEO of the Song Group, sitting at the very top of the financial world, there wasn't a top-tier card she hadn't seen but this one. She had only ever heard of once at an ultra-classified global capital summit when a European old money tycoon casually mentioned it. Apparently, the issuing institution never went public and only served fewer than 100 ultra-wealthy clients worldwide. The spending limits and privileges attached to it were beyond imagination. Calling it a card was almost an insult. It was more like a passport to a different level of existence. That tycoon had once said the resources a cardholder could mobilize were enough to destabilize a small nation's economy in days. Lily had written it off as a tall tale at the time, but here was this legendary card, casually being pulled out of a beat-up canvas bag by her own brother. Lily's entire worldview shattered. The buzzing in her head was deafening. She looked down at the unlimited black card she had always been so proud of, and it suddenly felt like it was burning her fingers. Almost too embarrassing to hold. "Hey sis." Second sister Wendy noticed Lily zoning out, leaned over to peek at the card in my hand, and immediately wrinkled her nose. "What kind of knockoff card is that? It's just plain black. No bank name on it at all. Is this like some prepaid debit thing? Is the limit even enough? Come on, just take Lily's card, it works everywhere." Lily snapped back to reality and wanted desperately to clamp her hand over Wendy's mouth. A knockoff prepaid debit card. She genuinely wanted to pry open Wendy's skull and check what was rattling around in there. She forced down the shock she was barely keeping a lid on, her voice coming out slightly hoarser than she intended, with a reverence she didn't even notice, asking very carefully, "Marcus, is that a Lumiere private card?" "Yeah, the limit is fine, it covers what I need." I gave a casual nod. Lily's eye twitched hard. According to that tycoon, the privileges tied to that card were so far beyond ordinary that fine barely scratched the surface. She quietly slipped her own black card back into her pocket and felt her face burning. Next to my card, hers genuinely looked like a toy from a vending machine. Third sister Alexis still looked completely lost. "What's Lumiere private? Never heard of it. Is it better than that Swiss bank we're partnered with?" Fourth sister Claire had already picked up on Lily's strange expression. She studied the card in my hand carefully. She didn't know the inner workings of high finance, but the card's ultra-minimalist design gave her the gut feeling this was no ordinary piece of plastic. Mom and Dad didn't know what Lumiere Private was either, but one look at their eldest daughter's stunned face told them their son's card was clearly something extraordinary. Mom asked very carefully, "Marcus, honey, where did you get that card?" I had already slipped it back into my wallet and answered like it was the most obvious thing in the world. "Someone gave it to me. Who gave it to you?" It was Alexis who blurted that out before anyone else could. I just glanced at her and didn't answer. "I'm a little tired. I'm going upstairs to rest with that." I gave everyone a small nod, turned and headed up the staircase, and my lean upright silhouette walking away left all 5 people in the living room. In a long, heavy silence, Alexis ran a hand through her short hair, completely baffled. "Okay, what on earth just happened? Our brother seriously just turned down your black card?" Lily watched my figure disappear around the bend of the staircase, before she finally let out a long breath and pressed her fingers to her temple. "That card he offered is not even in the same league." She looked at her family's confused faces and gave a helpless laugh. "I think we've seriously underestimated our brother." She held up the black card she never managed to give away. "Compared to the card Marcus just showed us, mine is basically like those fake credit cards they put in kids' wallets." Alexis shot straight up off the couch. "No way, sis, are you serious? Marcus's card is actually that insane." Lily didn't answer, but her grave expression said everything. The living room went dead silent again. Alexis flopped back heavily onto the couch and muttered under her breath, "Oh my god, what kind of world does our brother actually live in?" They had all assumed the brother they were bringing home was a fragile little flower that needed to be pampered with money and care, but turns out he casually revealed himself to be a towering redwood they all had to look up at. How did this wholesome reunion script go so completely off the rails? First thing the next morning, Alexis came bursting into the dining room like the house was on fire. "Mom, Dad, Lily, Wendy. Guess what time I stayed up researching last night?" She had 2 massive dark circles under her eyes, waving her phone around excitedly. "About Lumiere Private." The second those 2 words landed, every single person at the table locked onto her. Dad snapped his newspaper down. "What did you find?" "Absolutely nothing." Alexis dropped into her chair, grabbed her glass of milk, and chugged it. "The internet is scrubbed so clean it's like it was factory reset. I asked every finance girl I know in the industry, and they all had the same blank stare. Lily is seriously the only one who recognized it on the spot." Lily calmly sliced her toast and said nothing. She hadn't slept either. Her head had been full of that card and Marcus's unfazed expression all night. Mom looked heartbroken. "My poor baby. What did you go through all those years out there on your own, no matter what happened?" "He is a Song," Dad said with finality. "Nobody brings up the card again. Don't put any pressure on him." Alexis clenched her fist and rallied herself back up. "It's fine if the card angle is dead. There are other ways. Today I'm taking him for a ride in my brand new Koenigsegg. No guy on earth can say no to that." Claire deadpanned. "Alexis, are you sure Marcus would even care about your car? That card of his could probably buy out an entire fleet." Alexis rolled her eyes so hard they nearly stayed that way. Just then I came downstairs in a simple white t-shirt. Clean jeans, no fuss. Mom and Dad immediately broke into big smiles. "Marcus, you're up, come eat breakfast." Alexis instantly lit up and bounced over. Hey little bro, let your sis take you out today, what do you say? I just picked up a new supercar, we can go tear up the streets. I pulled out a chair, sat down, and picked up a piece of bread, thanks Alexis. I'm good actually, I need to grab something from my old room. Alexis perked right up, what do you need? I'll grab it for you, some personal stuff actually, I'll just go myself. Alexis tagged along behind me up the stairs anyway, claiming she was showing me the way. But really, she was dying to see whether I was happy with the dream room she had so carefully put together for me. When the grand door swung open again, Alexis showed off proudly.